Hey, what's going on, guys? It's your boy Ramadan. I'm going to be doing a dual com today with Phil. Phil's a guy that I met through YouTube, and he's a great guy, so I will let him introduce himself and his channel, and hopefully we can go from there, but I hope you guys enjoy, and without further ado, here's Phil, guys.
Yo, what is up, people? Phil, or UVG Rex here, and I'm just going to talk about my channel real quick and what I do and who I am as a person. So, pretty much on my side of things, I do Call of Duty. You're like, whoa, this guy just does Call of Duty. Good. No, I don't do Call of Duty. That's not the only thing I do. Yeah, I do post Call of Duty commentaries and talk about relative topics to whatever I am feeling for the day and interesting subjects, whether it be news, gameplay tips, strategies, and stuff like that. But also on my channel, I am really big into graphic design. I love doing GFX, and I love doing backgrounds for fellow YouTubers and Twitters and Twitch. So that's another thing that I really highly incorporate into my channel is doing graphics. You see a lot of speed arts, interesting musics. I'm also trying to get into some tutorials on how to do like backgrounds, thumbnails, all that good stuff for you guys. So if you want to, come over and check me out. I do commentaries and graphics, and it's pretty awesome, both of them combined. Because you don't see very many Call of Duty people today doing anything besides Call of Duty. It's just high-scoring gameplays or daily life topics. But no, over here at my channel, I do graphics, and I try and spread graphics that I do to other YouTubers and also teach you how to start graphics if that's something you want to do, because it's a very, I guess you could say, life-strong skill. What you do on YouTube can be incorporated into real life. Like myself, I'm going to graphic design school in less than 3 months, so that's what I'm doing over at my channel. So what do you do over there?
Alright, guys, I thought I would let you guys know here real quick that this video is obviously going to be posted to 2 channels, so my audience on my channel will obviously see this, and hopefully you guys will take full advantage and go over to Phil's channel and show him some support. You guys have always been really good at that, and I appreciate everything you guys do. Hopefully you guys will pound the positive reaction button on this video as well. But when it comes down to it, his audience will obviously get to see me, and I'm going to hopefully do my best to explain what I do on my channel. I'm a little bit more diverse, and I jump into different categories day by day. A lot of my videos are not exactly scheduled uploads, but a lot of you guys will, figure that out as we go. So, I guess to really define what I do, I spend a lot of time doing Battlefield 3 and Call of Duty. I know that's pretty generic, they're AAA titles, and you really get into the main gist of what's going on. But I like to incorporate a lot of things into my channel. I'm going to have playthroughs starting up. I've done a lot of playthroughs in the past of the previous Call of Duties. There was a game called Sniper Elite that came out about 8 months ago or something of that equivalency, and I did a lot in that. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was a great time. As for graphics design, I kind of suck. My audience knows that my editing skills and my ability to kind of combine images is probably not up on the par level of Phil here. Phil has done a great archive. I've looked into it. He showed me a lot of his projects currently ongoing, and I'm just astounded, I guess you could say. I don't exactly have a word to define or give you guys a real reason behind what I'm trying to explain. But as for content, I spend a lot of time doing edits and stuff like that. I do enjoy trying to incorporate Battlefield 3 into more of a 10-minute mark. I know a lot of you guys that maybe play Battlefield 3, or maybe you have a little bit of experience in that category, will know that that game requires a lot of editing. Everything that occurs in it is not always of high action, altitudes and stuff like that. I have a lot of chopper gameplays, you guess you could say LAVs, tanks, and I'm a huge tank fanatic. I do play on Xbox 360, unfortunately, for all the PC guys out there that maybe, watch your video or my video in that same context, but I don't exactly have the luxury of having the ability to play with 64 players, so I do have to, work with what I got. And I think I do a pretty good job at that. I have a lot of 100-kill gameplays in a tank on Grand Bazaar on my channel. Grand Bazaar is kind of my favorite, and I really enjoy Battlefield 3. I think it's a great game. And I actually got, the Master Prestige back in April, so it's almost been a year ago now. But, my kill death in that game is like 3.22, so if you guys are, familiar with that, that's a pretty good kill death. I mean, of course, Battlefield 3 is a little bit more based around tactics and that. But anyway, as for really the gist of Call of Duty, I haven't really been enjoying the Call of Duty franchise here recently, or the last couple of months, but, recently I've been playing with a lot of subscribers, and I'm a huge fanatic with playing with my subscribers. I play with them as much as I possibly can. I do open lobbies all the time, and I really enjoy their presence. Of course, you guys, the viewers, you guys should know that you guys basically build or destroy channels, so I guess in both contexts, that's a good and a bad thing. But in the same, occurrence, in the same perspective, I really enjoy playing with subs, and I'm hoping that you guys will come over and, give me a chance. I do my best to talk about topics that are relevant, and I do allow myself to, of course, build my own kind of perspective and my own kind of personality and build it into my channel. So I guess that's really about it for myself. I don't exactly go too far out of the boundaries, and I'm looking to do a lot here with Phil. Hopefully we will be able to combine operations here later in the future, and I imagine that everything will work out. But me and Phil had a couple of ideas for topics, and I really wanted to break into it. We've been talking, and we kind of figured that we'd talk about a little bit of the map packs for Call of Duty. I know that our channels are hugely and widely known for Call of Duty, so I thought that would be a great idea. But what are your thoughts on Call of Duty stage as of right now, Phil?
I'm gonna have to say, I like Treyarch games more. I like their development more. But with Black Ops 2 and and basically Call of Duty as a whole, I'm going to have to say it's slowly dying and dwindling. It may because the game's engines, ever since Modern Warfare 2, they ran off the main Infinity War crew. They ran off of that engine, and that was a superb engine. It was phenomenal. But they ran off with it with all those lawsuits, and the games haven't been quite up to par since then, in my personal own opinion. I don't know how you feel about that yet, but really, what is it, 2007? It's like 4 or 5 years. That engine that these games are running off now are so old, and it's just pushing this game engine to its max limits, and you can really see it in like the last two Call of Duties, MW3 and Black Ops 2. You can really see how old this engine is and the problems with it, because yeah, you're updating the graphics slightly, just repainting them and reskinning maps, reskinning guns, but the real problem is this engine's old and it's just not feeling up to par with like games like Battlefield 3, which have a new engine, the Frostbite 2 engine. You got Gears with their Unreal engine. You got Crysis with that Crytek, which is just out of the water, amazing, smooth gameplay, no real problems on hit detection, all that stuff. And then you're going back to Call of Duty. It's like running an old Volkswagen from the 1940s. It's just not up to par. So how do you feel about it?
Well, I'd have to say that, in my personal opinion, I mean, my last good COD that I thought they did a really good job with was Black Ops, the original. I thought it was pretty balanced. I know some people thought it was really boring, and I'm going to agree that the color wheel was absolutely horrific. There was absolutely no color in that. I think we all kind of saw it. There was a lot of grays, a lot of browns, and a lot of black. And that's unfortunate, but, they just weren't too keen on the color wheel. But I think in Black Ops 2 they did a phenomenal job. But as you were talking about the engine, and I'm glad you talked about that, I would agree. I cannot wait for the next generation of consoles. I know a lot of the PC guys know that the consoles are the demise of the graphical imagery and all that stuff. PC, of course, if they make only PC games for whatever, a PC exclusive is, you can really tell and you can really define that the PC is on a completely different scale compared to consoles. And I look forward to the new consoles releasing, as well as a lot of the upcoming things that are coming for the new generation of gaming. A lot of people are skeptical if Call of Duty will make the conversion in a positive way. I've also heard rumors that the next Call of Duty is not going to be released until 2013, so they actually have, or 2014, I'm sorry, I messed up on that. But I've heard that a lot of good things are hopefully going to be coming with the PlayStation 4 and the 720. Of course, you're going to have the ability to do a lot of things in the graphics cards, and the RAM is going to be absolutely out of this world. I've heard that the Xbox currently has half a stick along with the PlayStation, and I look forward to the 8 gigabytes of RAM that will be in the upcoming consoles. But I guess really to get into the real purpose of it, Call of Duty, again, yes, it's a reskin. I think everyone knows that. I mean, we've all probably used the same guns over and over, just with a different appearance of it. And I think Call of Duty has a place in our hearts. I think we all enjoy it to a certain degree. Now, of course, that's bound to change due to different factors, but I look forward to seeing what they'll be able to do in the upcoming Call of Duty titles. I imagine that it's hopefully going to get better, and I'm, crossing my fingers that dedicated servers will one day become something that Call of Duty picks up on. But I guess that's really it for my opinion.
Well, I'm going to have to say that I have to agree with you on that one. The games are old, and it's just the new consoles. I really think if they come out the new engine, it will make Call of Duty up to par with those other great games. And I'm just really, really, really excited for the new consoles. It's going to be a good thing to look out on, and hopefully see how Call of Duty innovates with the new technology at their hands. I know Treyarch is always good with getting feedback from fans, and their support staff is absolutely amazing. The people at Treyarch are really, really good at what they do, and that's just something I'm looking forward to. And What do you think about it?
Well, overall, I would have to agree. I look forward to it, but unfortunately, guys, the gameplay is going to be coming to an end, and I'll see you guys in the next installment. The links will be in the description of both channels. Hopefully, you guys will take full advantage of that. My side of it, I hope you guys go over and give him some support. Hopefully, we can do some more collaborations in the upcoming future. But as for that, I'll let him sign off, and I'll see you guys then.
Later.